to Jodie and Danielle.
Okay, can I share my screen, or is that doable?
Yes, should be.
Everybody see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to come and speak with you today. And also thank you for making us the beneficiary of your fruit sales this year. We really appreciate that. What I thought I would do today was give an overview of, maybe for those of you who are not familiar with DSC and all the things we do, provide an update on some FY20 numbers for some of the services that we provide, and then give just a little insight into how COVID has affected DSC, because as you know, we are an essential, deemed an essential business, but we did have one of our largest programs, our community day services, was shut down for a while. So I'll talk a little bit about that and how our staff maneuvered that and how wonderful they were during that time. Danielle will be here if we have any questions after or even during. Feel free to jump in at any point in time if you have any questions. So I'll get started here. So DSC, our mission, we support people in living a rich and meaningful life. That is our mission here at DSC. And so who are we? We were formed in 1972. We're a nonprofit organization with a long history of providing services and supports to children and adults with intellectual and/or developmental disabilities. Currently, we serve over 1,100 individuals within Champaign and Ford County. Our approach is, we provide an individualized approach, and we design those approaches to help the individuals we serve achieve the level of independence they desire, whether it's a child or an adult. So the programs and services that we provide, we have about five different programs. We have a children's program, which is called Family Development Center, and our adult services have 4 different components. We have an employment services, community day services, residential services, and case management and individual support. So now we'll kind of talk about what is entailed within those within those departments. So our Family Development Center, as I said, it's for the infants and toddlers. We strive to improve the lives of infants and toddlers with intellectual and/or developmental disabilities through early intervention, early identification, and family support. So within FY20, we served 730 children, and 146 children received developmental screenings. And what happens with those developmental screenings then turns into different types of therapies that we might provide them: developmental therapies, speech therapies. We offer play project, play groups. We have a Parent Wonders program, which is a home visiting model designed to support the parent-child relationships through their developmental activities and resource support. So one of those groups within our Parent Wonders programs is our breastfeeding group. That's one of the groups that we offer. Through our Family Development Center, we also have Caregivers Connection, which we provide support to daycare providers within our area here. And throughout the year, Family Development Center is always looking for donations for activity bags that they provide to our families that we serve. Those could be puzzles, crayons, books, coloring books, Play-Doh, and they make these nice little packages and give them to the families, which has been really helpful right now during COVID, because our Family Development Center, as I said before, it was an in-person, at home. A lot of times all of these screenings and everything were done in person, and the therapies, those have all been online and currently still are online through Zoom with our families. So our Family Development Center folks have been primarily working from home during this time. And like I said, they've been reaching out, either via Zoom and on phone calls to try to do those. And if you can imagine how difficult it might be to do a speech therapy, via Zoom, so they're doing the best that they can. And when you do meet our Tree of Hope family later on, you'll find out how beneficial it still has been to them during this time of COVID. So, and then now let's move on to our employment services. So we provide support in employment and community activities for individuals that we serve. So within FY20, we served 130 individuals through a multitude of different programs that we have here. Employment First, we partner with Community Choices to provide our LEAP training, Leaders in Employing All People. And what we do is we go out to businesses that are interested in hiring individuals that have intellectual developmental disabilities, and we provide them training on how best to work with those individuals and to employ them. And to date, we've done just over, we have 60 employers that have went through that training, and some of our employers hire multiple individuals that we help, and what we do is, with the community employment here as well, those kind of go hand in hand. 80% of our individuals maintain employment for over 1 year. So, we strive to find that perfect fit. So we take a lot of time to, listen to those individuals and what their interests are and what they like to do, and try to match them with the best fitting job for them. So we had 9 new employers hire someone with a disability this year. 16 new jobs were secured, and 25 new individuals received our job development services package this year. So Community First is another fun program that we offer. So this supports people in discovering, exploring, or expanding opportunities for personal growth or enrichment through community involvement. So these are, different groups that we could offer. We serve 52 individuals, and 62 different groups offered, anywhere groups from music groups to journaling to health groups to yoga. We even have a group that helps to make a magazine, so there's all different kinds of groups and clubs that are created, to support what our individuals are interested in learning and doing more with. Our Connections program, if you haven't heard of the Crow at 110, pretty cool. It's an artistic group where we have 40 participants. So what the Crow is, we currently do have a space on 110 East University Avenue, which is right across from where Dallas and Company used to be. I guess they're closing now, but so we do have a storefront. It's not running currently, but what the Crow is they are individuals that we serve that enjoy doing art, and they are making soaps, wonderful smelling soaps, wax melts. They do artwork, they make jewelry, greeting cards, and this year we're offering, they are going to have an online open house that's going to open tomorrow, and they're going to be selling some of their soaps, which make awesome stocking stuffers, believe me, and they smell delicious, all sorts of different kinds of soaps, and wax melts and ornaments as well. They've made a few ornaments to sell this year. And what happens is these individuals that are making them, it's their job. They get paid when the soaps are sold and the wax melts sell. So we will be offering that online on our website, and that information will be going out tomorrow once everything's all set with that. So if you're looking for a stocking stuffer or something fun this year, soaps are a wonderful, wonderful buy, in the wax melts as well. Whoops, skipped a few here. Back here. So next we're going to go to our, so just to touch on COVID with our employment services. So, because our individuals did work out in the community, some of them did, you know, lose their jobs during this time. So, you know, this employment specialists were still helping them either try to find another job since they were laid off, or, you know, and we also had individuals that continued to work the whole time because they were deemed essential and they wanted to work. And some of them are very, very proud of the work they've done during this time and feel fortunate that they were able to continue to work during this time. And one of our actual one of our award winners this year, special, we do a personal achievement award winner, and he has worked the whole time during COVID at Walgreens and just feels very fortunate to have had the opportunity to continue to work. So our Community Day Service Program, this is the one I touched on earlier. They support individuals strengthening connections with friends, family, and local community through volunteering, civic and advocacy opportunities. So during FY20, we served approximately 163 individuals. And through a variety of ways here, we have supported employment where 22 individuals that need extra support during their job search were provided opportunities this year. We volunteered with 17 different organizations. And then we have a multitude of clubs and groups like we had talked about before, that on a, you know, during the day they can choose to participate in. If you haven't heard of our Prompting Theater, it's a fun acting group that we have that does do short films and short films, and it's very fun to watch some of those as they are really great actors and actresses that we have here at the Prompting Theater. And they are as well always looking for donations at the Prompting Theater of their for props and anything of that sort, so they can put on those plays. And during COVID, they have actually done some virtual plays, and we're able to get those submitted for some awards and stuff that we're still waiting to hear if we've won for that. So as I mentioned before, this Community Day Service Program was the program that did get shut down during the beginning of COVID. So the middle of March, we were not able to provide those services in our building for these individuals. And so we turned to a lot of virtual things. We moved to Zoom and got them doing different types of clubs virtually. We stayed in contact, our case managers stayed in contact with them via telephone and everything during this time, and provided any, you know, one-on-one support that they needed during this time. As of September 8th, we have, they did put out that we can reopen at a half or less capacity. And Danielle, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we do have about 40 to 50% of our community service individuals that we provide services to back. And, you know, we're following the protocols that we need to as far as keeping them in their own special groups during the day, so they're not intermingling with other individuals, but they're still able to come and participate and do the things that they love to do on a daily basis.
Yeah, it's about 55%. The hardest part with the day program, if people have questions later, but the hardest part is transportation, because we typically provide transportation, but we really tried to limit that as people came back.
So next up is our residential services. They offer an array of community-based residential alternatives to promote independence. So we have community integrated living arrangements, SILAs is what we call them. We have 8, which are also called group homes throughout Champaign, Urbana, as well as one in Rantoul. And we serve 49 individuals on a 24/7 basis there. So they're a home where 4 to 8 individuals live. just like in their own little household. They do the cooking and cleaning, and they run their own households with the help of somebody that's on staff all the time with them. And during COVID, this was a very, very hard for these individuals to be confined and have to stay home, but they all did a great job. And we actually had some, our staff has been overwhelmingly just great during this time. And we had 4 to 5 individuals that decided they would live in with these group homes during this time and spent months at a time living in there to try to reduce the risk of COVID with people coming in and out. It was a difficult decision to, not allow, the family members to be coming inside and everything. So, that helped with those individuals to have a constant, person there. And we just really feel fortunate that our employees really, our staff really stepped up during this time and really went above and beyond for them. So we also have a community living program, which we call CLP, which consists of our CU independents, which are independent apartments that we have. We have 24 of them, but we serve 66 individuals in this program because we do support other individuals that live in the community independently in their own apartments. So we help provide them services as well, whether they need help with grocery shopping or getting to their medical appointments, cleaning, those types of things as well. And residential services is always looking for household items and pantry items as donations. We did, when the pandemic first started, we did do a donation drive for our individuals. And we got overwhelming support with that. It helped to reduce the amount of grocery shopping trips that we needed to make, and help to get them stocked up on their toiletry items and paper towels and stuff like that. So we felt very fortunate to have the wonderful community that we have to support that. So the last department is our case management and individual family support. So we provide advocacy, referral linkage, crisis intervention, and intermittent direct services. So in FY20, we provided 364 individuals with our case management and individual support in the community. So case management is just as you think of, we do the assessment and planning and facilitating, coordinating care and evaluating and advocacy for individuals, for their health needs and everything. And our individual and family support, we provide the planning for more of a one-on-one support with individuals. So during this time of COVID, keeping in contact with those individuals, making sure that, things are okay, providing some one-on-one care for or respite services for a family that may need a little bit of just a little break from their loved ones, and providing them that time to be away, but also know that their families be cared for as well. The individual family support, the IFS, is primarily held out at our Philo Road location. When we are up and running, that's where they normally are. Like I said, it's for those individuals that may need a little more one-on-one care than others. So that is the kind of the bulk of what DSC is. Danielle, did you want to talk a little bit more about COVID before I go on to the Tree of Hope, or any other comments you wanted to make?
No, I think you covered it. I mean, we've only had one program that was closed temporarily, which was the day program. Everything else, and that is back up and running. So everything is up and running. It just looks a lot different than what it did prior to COVID. But no, I think you covered most of it very well. Thanks.
Great. Up next for us right now in development and fundraising is our largest fundraiser of the year. Tree of Hope. We are actually kicking off Tree of Hope today with a virtual tree lighting ceremony out at the tree. We're going to introduce everybody to our Spokes family and thank our sponsors. And this will be the 34th year, we have given out special awards to businesses and employers that and individuals that we serve who have went above and beyond this year. And this year, I am happy to announce that ESS Clean is our special recognition award winner. They have went above and beyond for DSC. Early on during the pandemic, they provided us with masks and hand sanitizer, and just they've done this for years, providing us wonderful service and everything. So they are our special recognition business this year. And we always give an employer of the year. And this year, and that's an employer that employs somebody that we serve. And that this year is Planet Fitness in Urbana. They have just been fantastic with hiring those individuals, and we're happy to give them that award this year. And then we have a personal achievement award that we provide to an individual that we've seen, make a lot of personal achievements during the year. And that award hasn't been announced yet to the individual, so we're not going to give out his name yet, but he's just made great strides this year. It was the one that I was talking about that worked at Walgreens, and so we're excited to do that. So it is our 27th annual Tree of Hope campaign. It is our most significant campaign through the year. We do highlight a family that receives our services, and we tell their story about the services that they receive and how DSC has helped them during maneuver through their challenges with a child with disabilities. Our campaign runs through November through the end of January 31st. And this year, our goal is 175,000, which is standard for what we've done throughout the last couple of years. And as always, we do appreciate donations, as this does go to our annual budget to help us to continue to provide the programs and services to the individuals that we serve. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
I do have one question. Is there any requirements or suggestions to the employers when they go along with the program to hire a disabled person? Is there any requirements for them to supply any kind of support inside or outside of the premises when the disabled person tries to get into the premises?
Danielle, do you want to take that one?
I think the LEAP training kind of provides, that doesn't guarantee that somebody would get a job. So it kind of provides a background for if you do employ an individual. It's like any job in the community. The support is typically provided by, some support can be provided by staff, just like any support would be provided in any environment that we work in the community. But there's also a job coach who does a lot of the support, meets with the individual, meets with the company to make that the best relationship possible.
Thank you.
So in terms of your budget, obviously you've lost the boat drunks thing, and then also the October Beer Fest. Can you give us a breakdown of your funding levels and the impacts of those things that you're seeing during, I guess this would be your next fiscal year in fiscal year 21, is that right?
Yes, it'd be fiscal year 21. We're still evaluating how some things will be impacted because as we said, Community Day programs back at 50%. And so that will be a little different too. But yeah, fundraising is definitely has been impacted by COVID. the Parrot event in August obviously was not able to happen. We did have, that group did have a special fundraiser for DSC, which we're extremely grateful for. Obviously, it wasn't the magnitude of the event, but still helped to offset some of the loss. Oktoberfest, we did a virtual event that was about probably a third of what we typically would have raised, but is important to the budget and the bottom line for FY21. I think we're continuing to evaluate that, and we'll see where we're at. But obviously, they all impact our bottom line.
We're also looking to possibly have some type of fundraiser in the spring this year to, in general, we're wanting to start something new, but this spring is probably really important for us to have an extra fundraiser and to get something new started for us. But what that looks like at this time is it, we're not sure because of COVID, is the vaccine going to come out? Is it not? How, would we be able to have anything where individuals would be able to gather? That's been very difficult. For us, Oktoberfest was very hard to convert to a virtual event because it was so much in person, so much of that was in person. So, our goal was to keep Oktoberfest spirit alive and, provide some type of event for individuals to enjoy Oktoberfest. And we were very, very happy with the outcome that we had. The community really did come together and support Oktoberfest for us this year. It just wasn't the magnitude that we're used to with having a crowd of 2,000 people. So yeah, we, like Danielle said, we're evaluating, and we probably will have another fundraiser in the spring to try to offset that.
Well, I think as we head into Tree of Hope too, our sponsorships are in line with what we've had in prior years, and we're extremely optimistic about the event. This event actually translates really well to a virtual event. It's a lot of media, meeting the family, and so I think we feel good about the Tree of Hope as well.
Yeah. To date, we do an early mailing out to individuals that have supported in the past, and we do an early mailing out to them. And to date, we're running very, very similar to last year. So fingers crossed that it really, comes out the same or more as last year.
No, our fruit sale, we'd hope would benefit you guys as much as possible. And I don't know if you guys have been able to share in any way. We're getting close to the end of our sales session, but I would hope you guys would be able to share that and receive some benefit from that as well.
Yeah, sure. We did. We sent it out in an e-newsletter that we had to our DSC family. We also posted it on Facebook, and we'll probably do another. We'll do another post on Facebook to get the word out there. And I know that the Champaign West Rotary shared it with all of our members as well.
Awesome. That's what we hoped for.
And of course, I shared it with all of our employees. We did an internal email to all of our employees.
You said the store opens tomorrow for online sales. Can you make sure we get a copy of the link for that so we can all share that to our own social medias too?
Yes, absolutely.
So if you could send that to Mary Kay and she can get it out to us.
Great. Thanks, Carrie.
Yes, I would do that.
That's wonderful. Anybody else have any questions?
I just want to give a shout out and say thanks. I'm relatively new at the Champaign Park District, but Jodie and Danielle, the Park District is so thankful for your partnership. I hear a lot of chatter about continuing that and how vital it is for our community to have you all involved as a partner. So thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
One more comment, Jodie. I'm a member of the Urbana Planet Fitness people that exercise in there, and one of my concerns about going back was how clean, they maintain the equipment there and other things. And I know the individuals from DSC have been hired and do a fantastic job there. I mean, they're cleaning and everybody feels a lot more comfortable, and appreciate that.
Great. So glad to hear that.
Well, if I could, Danielle, I will have you stop screaming for a second here, and we will come back to our program.
Right on.
Awesome. So we can see out there if there's any other questions. Otherwise, we will go ahead and let me share what we've got coming up for next week. And let me see what we've got here. So our next week, November 19th speaker is going to be Dean Dempsey, who is from the Navajo Nation. So Daryl is going to, it's a friend of Daryl's, so he's going to be talking about, I think, water issues. So be sure and come back and check that out. Now I'm going to turn it over to Ed. He is going to do the four-way test.
That's a fact. Four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And is it fun?
Wonderful. If we could have a big thank you to Jodie and Danielle for joining us today. That is awesome. And on that note,
Great work.
thank you so much. Have a great day, Rotarians.
Oh, very well.